Hey, it's Fred Rock Fisher here. Today I'm going to talk about this 1967 Ludwig marching bass drum that's been converted over to being a kick drum. I found it on Facebook Marketplace not long ago. So it's already been outfitted with some bass drum spurs that are from DW, and they clamp right to the hoop. So you don't have to drill the shell or anything like that. I think those are pretty sweet, easy to put on, easy to adjust. I bought this drum to use for recording to kind of get a symphonic or a concert bass drum sound, which I can get with this fuzzy little mallet I have for my kick drum. So when I play with it, it's very light and kind of has like thunder in the background sound to it. These drum heads that are on it are pretty old, and I'm going to upgrade those, and I want to use it as an auxiliary kick drum. It's for more of the acoustic sounding stuff where I want more big open bass drum sound, but it's not overwhelming. So somewhere in between like a kick drum sound and a concert bass drum sound, and I'm going to get that hopefully with my pedal and the fuzzy mallet. So here's what the bass drum head is on the other side. It's got a kick patch and some dampening on there. What I'm going to put on the batter side, I'm going to put this Aquarian batter head. This is their modern vintage bass drum head. It's texture coated like most texture coated heads are, kind of yellow looking. I don't know if there's another material involved in that at all, but I think part of the vintage bass drum heads are meant to have a little more wiggle room with older drums. Maybe the shell's a little out of round, or maybe the bearing edge isn't very great. So these drum heads, I believe, are manufactured to deal with those circumstances, and it's got this muffling ring around the inside, just like their Super Kick series bass drum heads have. So this would be like the modern vintage version of the Super Kick one. So that's going to go on the batter side. On the reso side, I just have the Aquarian single ply bass drum head with a 4-inch port in it already. This is not their regulator front head. The regulator head has a small felt ring in the center, and I did not get that one because I want this bass drum to still have quite a bit of life to it. So let's put those on and see what kind of results we're going to get. I'll be using this DW 5000 pedal. This is what it sounds like with the pedal on here in a normal playing circumstance. Now I know that the audio you're getting is only through my phone, but in this room, it really makes me smile. This bass drum sounds thunderous, and it's incredibly huge with lots of low end to it, but pretty overwhelming. So, like I said, I'm going to put those new drum heads on and see what kind of results we get, and with the fuzzy beater on the bass drum, because it's not going to be for a loud bass drum sound. It's going to be really just a warm symphonic, like I said before, in between like an actual kick drum and a symphonic bass drum. Somewhere in the middle is the sound I'm going for. And let's see what we get putting new heads on it. All right, as you can see, new drum heads are on the bass drum now. One thing that is really interesting about this particular drum is that these tension rods go through the claw on this side, through the little lug casing, and then it threads into the claw on this side. So when you adjust the tuning here, it's also doing it equally here, which makes sense when this was being used for a marching bass drum, so that both heads would be equally tensioned, both heads would be tuned the same. So that's a little bit of a workaround when I would ideally want this head to be tighter than my batter head. That's how I typically run my drum heads on my kick drum. But I don't know if that's a unique design to Ludwig. Any of you Ludwig vintage Ludwig drum collector guys know what this setup is actually called? I'd be interested to know. So we got the Aquarian single ply head on the front with a 4-inch port to get a microphone in there and to kind of vent the drum. And then we got the modern vintage head on the batter side. So I think I'm really close to having the desired result I wanted here. So I put the fuzzy soft bass drum beater on my DW pedal. So here's what that sounds like. Again, this is just cell phone audio that you're getting. So here we go. So of course it sounds amazing in here. It's like there's a nice warm blanket of low end in the room, but it's more focused. That's the result I wanted, is between a kick drum sound and a concert bass drum sound that you would use, you know, like for symphonic band. And I think it's going to sound great mic'd up and running through the PA with that kind of a low rolling thunder sound going. I'm going for more of a presence in the mix rather than something that's articulated. So I think that's, man, I'm pretty happy with the results. Maybe another word to use for that result I'm going for is like atmospheric. So it's just a feeling that's being created in the room rather than a strong punch you in the chest kind of feeling. That's why the main kit will be serving that purpose. So there you go, 1967 Ludwig marching bass drum was converted over with some DW legs. Really easy way to convert a drum to be used as a kick drum. So there you go. Check it out.